There's no way that he just said this. As Anthony Stolarz, following what was a ridiculous loss, put the Leafs on blast. And we heard some things in a game filled with Anthony Stolarz getting hit, his players not standing up for him. Lazy hockey. Stolarz said something that absolutely had to be said. And for the first time in a very long time, the Leafs goaltender just came out and absolutely ripped into his own team. I'm going to break down the comments and discuss what this means. Is the Leafs have to prepare for another game here in a couple of days. But before we get into all that, and I don't want to say tuned to the Yanks, this is a juicy one. Quick reminder, hit that subscribe button if you guys are enjoying the daily content. Darius, obviously you weren't there for the stream last night. I was. It was the game itself was pretty rough. We saw a lot, like rough both physically and of course on the box score. They lost the game in overtime. They managed to salvage a point. But the bigger storyline was the team not really standing up for Anthony Stolarz, continually getting run in the crease. Stolarz had to, really defend himself, flip over the net and stuff like that. But the biggest storyline of this was Stolarz absolutely calling out the team for the first time in his Leafs tenure at least. So let's dive into it. I thought the first two periods, we kind of let them walk all over us. They just outworked us, plain and simple. Enough is enough. We've got to start picking it up here. And he dives into a bunch of different things. He was talking about how he was frustrated, how the Leafs were lazy a little bit. Didn't say lazy directly, but how they were, implying that he was lazy in the first period. They haven't been playing spirited, inspired hockey. And he says here, maybe we can take a page out of their book and start getting to the net. For us, we like to go low to high and shoot, but for their goalie, it's like playing catch in the yard. You're seeing everything, and we're not making it difficult. Enough's enough, and we've kind of got to start picking it up here. Very rare you get anything remotely close to this in a post-game interview. Darius, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely inexcusable. And we started noticing this with the Toronto Maple Leafs, I guess a couple of years ago at this point, or really when the core four, yes, I'm going to say it, the core four took over, I guess, ownership of the team once JVR and Bozak and guys like that left. You really started to see this kind of, attitude come through or lack thereof an actual attitude. And Stolarz is starting to get mad. And listen, he threw the net off and it was ridiculous, right? You can see it since the whole Sam Bennett thing happened last playoffs. Other teams are running Anthony Stolarz, right? They're trying to take advantage of that because they know that the Leafs are not going to do anything about it. It happened the first game of this season, happened a couple games ago, and then it happened twice in last night's game against Seattle. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And Stolarz throws the net off. If he comes down with the blocker there, he's getting suspended, right? So he knows in his head, he's just trying to start something. And I think most Leaf fans sitting on their couch, I know I did, felt something in that moment. Like, give him a shot, do something, start a brawl because it's ridiculous. They're taking liberties and they're making a mockery of you, and you're doing nothing about it. And Brandon Carlo came out and had his reasoning for why he didn't jump in. He said, we knew that we were getting the power play and we're going to go to work on the power play. And if I retaliated, they would take me too and it'd be 4-on-4. Guess what, Brandon? Your power play sucks. So it doesn't matter. Start sending a message and say, we're not going to stand up for this. Stop taking liberties against us, or every team in the league is going to continue to do it. So I think it's ridiculous. I'm 100% with Stolarz here. I love when players do this because too many times players feel like they can't do this if they're not wearing a letter. I like how your goaltender has now come out and said, listen, I'm clearly the one who's the best right now. I'm the only reason we're in games, make no mistake about it. And now I'm challenging all of you to be better in this way. And not just that way, the physicality way, just caring and the effort. Seattle just outworked them in this game, and it's absolutely ridiculous to me.
Yeah, he went on to say some more things. Thought the first two periods, we kind of let them walk all over us. They just outworked us, plain and simple. And Stolarz has been the one guy who, you look at the box score, a lot of those, and one of the goals wasn't his fault at all. Brandon Carlo cross-checked someone into Stolarz and couldn't even see it. I'm with him here. The game was uninspired. They didn't really play great. They were lucky to get 1 point out of it. And most of that was because of Anthony Stolarz and his ability to keep, the craziness out of the net there. And you can see here, Stolarz has a cup. He knows how you need to play to get to the top of the mountain. It is early. Like, I'm not panicking on the season or necessarily, saying that the Leafs it's over and all these different things. But this was a fantastic call out by Anthony Stolarz. And it almost, for the first time, and it's very rare you see this, he said exactly what fans are thinking, whether it be Brandon Carlo, whether it just be even Morgan Riley playing soft defensively sometimes. There's so many things. He went on and kept going, by the way. So let's dive into some more of them. How many times or how many time points are we going to leave out there? Being here last year, and that was a bit of a misquote. Basically, how many points are they going to leave on the table by only getting one and not two in the overtime loss? Being here last year and seeing how far we're able to go, the potential is there. We have the skill, we have the grit, we have the grind. It's frustrating that we just can't put it together right now. I mean, we saw a lot of different plays. You see one here, Darius. There's a lot of different things happening. What are your thoughts on all that? It gets just crazier and crazier. I fully respect Stolarz even more now. Let's not forget, he's locked up on a contract for the next 3 years, so I'm sure he wants to get this out of the way early.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they signed guys. Brad Living went out and signed guys that have won the Stanley Cup. So you could have moments like this where a guy who's been there and done that comes out and says, we're not playing well enough. You need to bring it to another level. And yes, it's 6 games into the season, but it's 6 games into the season. This is not the first game of the season. You're about to see all these teams hit their stride and, really separate themselves, right? By American Thanksgiving, we're going to know who's going to make the playoffs for the most part and who's not, right? So you got to get going here and start closing out games. And I don't mind games being close if they pull it out and they work hard, right? That's fine. I'm happy with that team because that's what the playoffs are, not this, right? You got outworked. And it goes back to the whole give an F meter that they just, they don't have it. They don't have it. I don't understand what it is. And the leadership group has to find it quickly and tell the rest of the guys, this is how we got to play, right? And this play, the one I thought should have been called back, the goal, because clearly he fell into the goaltender. The Marchment one is a whole different story, but I think he clearly, was being pushed out of the way and then fell into Anthony Stolarz. Thought that was ridiculous. So all night they were taking liberties. It wasn't just the one time, it was twice. And then in overtime, you leave your goalie out to hang a couple times, and then it burns you finally on that third time. So it's ridiculous to me. I think the team they absolutely need to lock in, especially in this way. Start fighting for one another, because if you don't have that, you won't find success in the playoffs. You need every single one of those guys on that bench locked in and fighting for each other and in alignment with each other. So they need to find that now, because a lot of these guys, like Stolarz said, have been here for a long time.
Yeah, I was going to see Carlo pushing him in. Whether he fell on him, I mean, Berube didn't challenge. Weird play by Carlo, but also I understand what he was trying to do. And if it doesn't hit off Morgan Riley, it probably doesn't go in the net. So it is what it is. They obviously give up the goal in overtime there, and they should have not given up that goal. But it is what it is. They had multiple chances to win this game. Dakota Joshua he looked really good. So I don't want to go too hard against him, but he had a goal he should have hit, and very, very disappointing. One quick thing befI wrap up here. You covered it. Brendan Carlo on the perspective of not stepping in. As a silent referee call a penalty, you don't want to do too much to retaliate. But yeah, there's a certain extent. Once you see Stoli get up and be angry too, you want to try and give him a shot. But overall, you want to go on the power play as well. So it's a weird area to give in. But overall, I think the power play is a useful thing in that situation. So you already have your thoughts on this. I mean, ultimately, usually that is correct. Their power play is a whole nother question. I mean, it's horrible, right? And it's been really bad for a while now, and hasn't been good in the Core 4 era. The Core 4 era is over. Now it's not good in the first year thus far without Mitch Marner. So it is what it is. Blame whoever you want. One person not going to blame is Anthony Stolarz. I love what he said here. He threw everyone not under the bus, but into the spotlight, and hopefully they can step up on Tuesday.